Consumer Electronics Show 2019. I was there last week. I'm sure you guys have already seen all the basic big hits like the new TVs, self-driving cars that are forever just a couple years away. But there is a lot of other stuff on the CES show floor that you might not have seen in the mainstream articles that are still really awesome. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in this video. Stuff that didn't really get a lot of flashy coverage, but is still, in my opinion, just as exciting, possibly even more exciting, because it's more stuff that is within the reach of average people. So that's what we're going to go over today, and let's take a look. All right, first up, we have a product called Allometric Sky, and Allometric is a company that actually already makes a Wi-Fi clock that I have. It's pretty cool, but they demoed a new potential product called Sky, which is a set of wall light panels, smart panels, and as you know, I'm a huge fan of smart lights in general, and wall panels, like other ones like Nanoleaf are awesome, which are those triangle panels. But these ones actually are kind of also triangle panels, but with smaller triangles making it up, which means that you can assign these and arrange them in any design you want, and even into a rectangle where these tiny triangles can form squares and basically form pixels and display cool information like live info from like Instagram accounts to the weather or anything like that if you want it. There's no price point on this yet, and like I said, this is apparently like a prototype, and they said they were just getting feedback on it, so I'm not sure if they're actually going to make this, but I thought it was super cool. It looked awesome, so I hope they do end up making this. Moving on, we have something that I thought was like some sort of black magic. I don't understand how it works, but it's awesome, and it is basically a clock that uses a levitating metal ball to tell the time. Now, this is by a company called Flight. They make these levitating light bulbs for a while now. I actually got one as a gift, I think, for someone at one point. But this new thing is called the Story, and like I said, it's a clock that has like a little display that is invisible when it's off, and then you can show this ball rotating around. But the crazy thing is, it can even go absolutely vertical. So it's using magnetics of some kind to literally hold this ball in place, and not only that, but move it around even to the point where it's vertical and nothing's underneath it. It's really insane, and you can change the speed of this. So I think the default is every minute it rotates around, but you can also have it for every hour, I think, and other modes like even like a countdown timer or something like that. Now, this is not a cheap clock. It's like $800, I think, and this is kind of par for the course for this company. All their stuff is pretty expensive. The floating light bulbs are like $200 to $300. So yes, it's not cheap, but honestly, I've never seen anything like this. Pretty crazy, and I thought it was just great. Up next, we have a few products from Lenovo. They had a suite where they kind of showed off a bunch of different computer hardware and accessories to me, and there were a couple of things that really caught my eye that I was most interested in. First of all, they had this Microsoft Surface Studio alternative that's a little bit cheaper. It's called the Yoga A940. So you can see it looks a lot like the Microsoft Studio, and the idea is it's going to be for like artists who can kind of tilt the screen. You can draw on it with a pen, and it also had this smart dial on the side that you can switch sides with it, and this would be able to control things like brush size. So I thought that was pretty cool. It also had a spot for the keyboard, so you can use it like a regular computer, obviously. So it's not just an all-in-one, it's a little bit more. Another really cool thing that they had here, which I thought was right up my alley, was a 240 hertz monitor, but this one is a little bit different than what I've seen before because it has actually a 0.5 millisecond response time. This monitor, the model number is Y27GQ. Now, I'm a huge fan of high refresh rate monitors. I actually do have a BenQ 240 hertz monitor, but I do believe that's like 1 millisecond. So it's a TN panel. It would be very interesting to see if this performed any better. I don't know how much half a millisecond is going to make in the grand scheme of things, but I'm always glad to see higher and higher refresh rate monitors, and I didn't even know that Lenovo was making this, so that's pretty cool. All right, up next we have Nanoleaf, one of my personal favorites. I like this company, their products. They have the triangle panels, which they've had forever, and they also have brand new square panels, which just came out not too long ago, and now they've already showed off at CES new hexagonal type panels, and this is super exciting. I love Nanoleaf lights. They're wall panels, And I think I might actually even like this hexagonal design, possibly even better than the squares. These are also touch sensitive like the square panels, which I think is great. And they had a few different possible designs. I think they said they weren't sure which one they were gonna decide on. They had flat ones, kind of traditional like their current light panels. They also had one that was like a rounded top, and they had one that was kind of like a diamond texture top. And I said I did like the flat ones best personally, but I'd be interested to know if you guys think some of the round ones look better or whatever. And there is no official pricing on this yet. I expect it's probably going to be similar to the square ones, so probably a couple $100 at least for the starter pack. And they did say this is expected probably by the end of 2019, so I'm super excited about this, and I'm really glad that Nanoleaf is expanding their product line, because really everything they make, in my opinion, has been great so far. And also, as a cool side thing, they had this infinity room where it was basically a room lined with mirrors with the square panels in there, so that looked super awesome, like the lights were just going to infinity. I enjoyed that as well. All right, up next we have something from TPLink, a company I haven't really talked about much on this channel, but they had a bunch of different smart home devices especially, and there's one particular device that really caught my eye, and it was a smart Wi-Fi LED strip, and the model number is the Casa KL430. And this is a little bit or a lot different from smart LED strips that you might have seen before, like from Philips Hue, because this does not just do one color for the whole strip, but rather it has many segments, and each segment can be its own color. And it can do animations of all types that they were showing off. I have not seen anything like this before. Maybe I just haven't been looking, but this really caught my eye, especially from a company that I know does pretty good products. It's a big name. So you can see here one example they had on display, and the initial starter pack I think has a 2-meter light, and it's 8 segments in that 2 meters, although you can extend it up to about 10 meters, which is over 30 feet. They said there's no pricing yet, but it will be available apparently in the first half of 2019. So I'm really excited about this. I might pick some up maybe for like background decorations on my videos or something like that. I do have Philips Hue light strips, so maybe I'll swap them out with this, who knows. All right, now we're getting into a little bit ridiculous territory, but I thought this was so cool. This was actually at the Kohler booth, and they make a lot of home appliances, kitchen stuff, bathroom stuff. Not something you usually see mainstream on these tech articles, but they did have a digital shower system, which I thought was so overkill, but also awesome at the same time. So basically these showers, they showed a bunch of different heads all working together, and you could control everything from a wall panel, so a smart panel, you can control which heads were working at the same time, the temperature. I think you could probably time stuff, and it really was ridiculous, and I don't think anyone was going to have all of these going at the same time. You might have seen my Instagram story talking about it, but still, I just thought it was cool, and I don't know, maybe if I ever get super rich, I'll just buy one of these showers that looks like this. And finally, this isn't even a product, and I'm not even sure what company this was, but it was this big giant VR roller coaster type contraption where you sit down, you put on some VR goggles, and I guess it puts you through a ride. So maybe you could put this in amusement parks and add virtual coasters. I don't know, maybe even, who knows, you could have a group of friends, and each person in each ride could pick their own roller coaster they wanted to go on, something like that. And what's kind of funny is in this video, the guy all the way on the right, his headset wasn't working for his demo, so he was just kind of being tossed around in the dark. So I think there's obviously some kinks to be worked out, but it was still funny to watch. Alright, so that is it. Some super cool stuff from CES. If you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know, and maybe I'll, in future shows, focus more on stuff that's kind of smaller like this than just the big booths, you know, from the major companies that everyone knows. Let me know definitely down in the comments. If you want to check out some of my other videos that I have about CES or anything else, they should be right here. You can check those out. And also, of course, be sure to subscribe, like the videos, and all that good stuff, guys. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Be seeing you.